Today we're going to talk about how your hybrid build is a lie in Cyberpunk 2077 2.0. Let's get to it. Welcome you over 173,000 fantastic people who have hit the subscribe button, as well as the other 40% of you who have not yet. Let's talk about hybrids. So you have your hack-slinging ninjas, you have your gun-slinging meleeers, you have, well, I don't know, whatever kind of random hybrids you all are coming up with. Those are the two that I've seen most talked about in my comments section. But before I tell you about how none of those are real hybrids, I got a very important message for you. And it's something that no YouTuber would ever even dream about mentioning to you for fear that you would click off of the video. But never fear, I ain't scared. All right, listen up. Are you paying attention? Are you listening close? The only thing that matters is that you're having fun playing the game. And I say that because a lot of people seem to get really butthurt and upset about my opinions. Anyway, let me tell you how your hybrid build is a lie. First off, let's talk about what a true hybrid is. To be considered a true hybrid, the sum of the build needs to be greater than its individual parts. And let me explain using a little Baldur's Gate 3 because I feel like it's the easiest one to use to explain to you what I mean here. In Baldur's Gate 3 and D&D, for those of you who are not familiar with it, if the first class you choose is a cleric, and for this specific instance, we're going to choose the subclass of War Domain, you get the ability to equip heavy armor, you get the ability to use most weapons, and you get some really strong level 1 spells, mainly the command spell. Okay, so now we're going to mix this with a wizard. Wizards do not get the ability to wear anything other than light armor. They also do not get the command spell. Now, because we chose cleric as our first class and we're choosing wizard as our second class, we now have a situation where we have a wizard that can use command, can use almost every weapon type, as well as has the ability to wear heavy armor. Now we have a situation where we have a wizard that is arguably stronger than it otherwise would have been if we would not have taken cleric as our first class. That is a true hybrid build. Now you can find these situations in many different types of games, not just RPGs, not just D&D. Now for us to truly understand why this isn't a thing in Cyberpunk, we need to understand the classes in Cyberpunk. And there isn't that many. You have your netrunner, you have melee, either blunt or blades, and you have ranged, which encompasses all of the different gun types, and then you have throwable weapons. So those are your classes. Those are the things that you can spec into in order to boost your damage and gain all kinds of other different special effects with the perks and the ability trees that those different perks lie in. The actual ability points that you spend don't make you a hybrid. Those are what allows you to access the specific trees that you would then use to make a hybrid. And this is because there are specific perks in each of the respective abilities that don't have anything to do with any type of damage type. And there are perks that mix between the different damage types. So for example, you get additional bonuses to smart guns if you spec into intelligence, but all of those smart guns have different trees that they gain additional abilities from based on the individual weapon type. You could spec into intelligence to gain all the abilities from smart weapons, because let's say you want to use smart pistols, and then you can go over to the cool tree and grab all of the pistol bonuses over there. So now that we've laid a basis for the different classes that you can play in Cyberpunk 2077 and exactly what it means to be a hybrid, let's break down why hybridization isn't a thing in Cyberpunk. So the problem with Cyberpunk is combining any two or more of those classes doesn't give you any type of benefits other than just being for funsies. And this is true even though they have put tons of little interactions between different things inside the perks trees, as well as some of the cyberware and quick hacks. But you don't have to take my word for it. I can actually show you an example. So the legendary version of Reboot Optics has the ability on it that when you neutralize an enemy via a headshot or weak spot, it replenishes 3 RAM units and spreads the quick hack to the nearest enemy. And you're like, yeah, that's cool. Obviously, you can create a cool hybrid build where you use pistols and you have a silenced pistol. You use Reboot Optics on the target and you shoot the target in the head and you get the extra damage because it gives you 30% extra headshot damage. Then it spreads to the next target and you rinse and repeat this over and over again with your awesome stealth netrunner gunslinger hybrid. And And while I was talking, you just saw that whole scenario play out. And here is the problem with this situation. While this is cool and it's fun to watch, and they obviously put this interaction in here for a reason, just speccing into pistols and having the right cyberware, you can easily headshot these people from stealth and one-shot them without them ever realizing what is going on. If you have already taken the time to spec into being a netrunner, you can just as easily one-shot them with a netrunner without them realizing what is going on. Neither part of this build, if built properly, has a weakness that the other one supports and makes better. Stealth pistols built properly is really strong. Stealth netrunner is absolutely broken. Let's take a look at another one just in case for some reason you still don't believe me. Another one I have seen show up in my comments a bunch of times in my recent videos is the pistol wielding blade ninja. So essentially a katana melee build mixed with pistols. And as you can see, once we activate the ⴨ we move so quickly that we can easily take out both of the targets before they realize what is even going on with just using the katana. And the exact same thing goes for the pistol side of this build. Just as it did with the previous setup, we can just as easily sneak up on these two unsuspecting victims and one-shot them in the head without any additional bonuses other than having the ⴨ active to make it a situation where we move faster than they do and they don't even realize that their buddy in front of them has dropped over dead before they have already been shot in the head as well. Once again, we have another situation where neither part of this build supports the other in a way that makes the two parts come together to create a whole that is stronger than each individual part. And you will find this situation no matter what kind of combo you come up with, because all of the different build types in this game are insanely strong in their own right, especially once you get to the end game. The only time you enter a situation in this game where you even come close to being a true hybrid build is if you start to hybridize early on in the game. There can be some situations where one part of your build will support the other part a little bit, but this is going to drop off extremely fast, especially depending on what mode you are playing in. So if you're playing on normal, it's probably going to drop off somewhere in the early to mid 20s. If you're playing on hard or extra hard mode, it's going to start to rapidly drop off around 25 and 30. And in almost every possible situation, you would be better off and feel power spikes more often and feel stronger if you just specialized in a specific play style. So for example, specializing in pistols, specializing in net running, or specializing in melee. All right, folks, let me know what you all think about this theory down there in the comments section. That is going to wrap it up for this one. If you found this video helpful or informational at all, please consider hitting the subscribe button and notification bell so you can be notified when I upload other videos. And if you're looking for some more Cyberpunk content, you can find a link to another one of my videos on the screen right now. I want to give an absolute massive shout out and thank you to all of my channel supporters for helping to keep these videos sponsor free. You all are absolutely amazing people. If you would like to become an official channel supporter, check out the links in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. If you're shy, you don't like to comment, just hit that thumbs up button and share your support. Until next time, thanks for watching.